Hello YouTubers, fellow hams, and 3D printing enthusiasts. I've had a couple of requests and a couple of queries about Wi-Fi on the Monoprice Select Mini. And I thought I'd do a little video on how you use it, how you set it up, and what it does, what it doesn't do. There's some confusion out there. I've seen several posts on forums where people don't quite understand exactly what the Wi-Fi on the printer is for or how it's supposed to work. So we'll clear all that up. What it isn't, well, it's not a direct connection. It's not the same thing as connecting it via USB. You can't control the printer as far as moving axes and so on and so forth. It's pretty limited what you can do. But what it is it's a way to upload G-code to the printer. You leave the SD card in the printer, and then from your computer, anywhere on your network, you can upload G-code files to it. You can start printing, and you can cancel printing. And it gives you a little bit of feedback as far as what's going on, progress of the print job, and temperatures of the bed and the hot end. So that's what it's for. And I like it. Back when I first built my my first 3D printer, Prusa i2, it only had two options: SD card and USB connection. You could either connect a computer to it directly and use something like Pronterface to control the printer and send print jobs to it, or you could use the SD card, which a lot of people, that's the way that they use their 3D printers. They pop the SD card out of the printer, take it over to their computer, plug it in, copy over their G-code files, eject it, unplug it, take it back to the printer, plug it in, select the G-code file, and say print. I don't like fiddling around, especially with those micro SD cards. They're so tiny, you know, and it's tricky getting it in the slot over on the printer. You have to use one of these adapters on your computer, you know, and if your printer is elsewhere in the house, like in another room, you know, it's the way people use it, but I don't like that. I would much rather sit here at the computer, slice my file, send it to the printer, and say start, you know, and then maybe walk over and make sure that first layer is good, but I think it's just very convenient. So that's what it's for on the Monoprice. Their web interface is pretty limited, but then again, the printer doesn't have a lot of horsepower in there. I think it's an Atmel controller, basically an Arduino. So the fact that they can even provide any kind of a web interface with that type of architecture and horsepower is pretty cool anyway. So getting it set up, well, you're going to need an app for your smartphone. Now, I have an Android phone, and I assume, I'm not 100% certain, but I assume that they also have an app for iOS for the iPhone users. You'll have to check that out if you're an iPhone user. But in my case, I'm using an Android app. So if we go to the Google Play Store and we search for Monoprice, you'll find this printer Wi-Fi utility. Go ahead and install that on your phone. Now, over on the printer, you need to put it into a setup mode for Wi-Fi. And you scroll over to the Move icon and you hold down the button until the printer tells you that it's ready to receive a connection. Then you go to your cell phone and you launch the app, and it will have two fields there after it finds the printer. It'll have two fields, one for the name of your Wi-Fi network and the other for your password. After you've entered your password and click Connect Wi-Fi, the printer will find your network and connect to it. And once it's connected, on the printer's display at the top, you'll see the IP address that the printer was assigned. Now, to use it, you go into your web browser and you simply put in that IP address. And you'll be presented with the printer's web page. Now, as I said, it's very minimal. Over here you have information, the current hot end temperature, the current build platform temperature. You can set the temperatures here if you want to do that manually. Over on this side we have a start print and cancel print buttons. And here, upload G-code. So what you would do is you would select your G-code file here. And I'll just pick something. and it starts uploading the G-code file. The printer's display will switch to downloading to show you the progress, or show you that it's receiving the file. Now, this takes a little while. The main complaint I've seen about the printer's Wi-Fi in various forums and that has been that it's slow doing it this way. And it is. It runs at about a megabyte a minute. So if you have a 3 megabyte G-code file, it's going to take 3 minutes to upload it to the printer. I don't see that as a big issue. If you've got a print that's going to take 3 hours, that just means it's going to take 3 hours and 3 minutes. It's not that big of a difference. You know, and once you start the upload to it, you could pop over to another tab, check your Facebook status, read the news, watch a short YouTube video of cats or something, you know, whatever. Once it's done uploading, though, you switch back to the interface to start the print job. Now, one thing to point out. Their web interface does a little weird thing, or a broken thing, with JavaScript. Under Windows, it works fine with Chrome, Firefox, probably with Edge, although you shouldn't be using Edge or Internet Explorer. You should probably use a better browser. Anyway, that's an opinion. Take it as with a grain of salt. Under Linux, using Chrome, it'll hang. It'll go so far on the download and just stop. And it's because of a bug in their firmware and their use of JavaScript. Now, I don't know about the Mac. I don't know about Safari or Chrome or anything on the Mac. It might work there. But under Linux, Firefox or Chrome, that broken JavaScript will crash and everything will hang. You'll have to power cycle the printer. But there is another method or another browser you can use. The Midori web browser, Midori, is a lightweight browser that's available, I think, for all the platforms, Mac and Windows as well. And it works perfectly for uploading the G-code. So if I use Midori and I go and I upload a G-code file, it will work. So if you're under Linux, install the Midori browser. It's available in all the repositories. It should be available on all of the Linux distributions. What's actually happening here is the printer is receiving the file and storing it on the SD card in the printer under the name cache.gc. Now, that's useful to know if you have to reprint or you want to do a second print of something over on the printer. You don't have to go through and upload it again. You can just walk over to the printer, select the print icon, and choose the file named cache.gc to reprint the file. So that's handy. Once the upload is complete, you'll be able to come in here to the browser window and start the print. There is another bug that I have found. If you've just finished printing something and you want to print something else and you upload another G-code file, the printer's going to jump right in to start the print, but it's going to do it a little weirdly. It's going to heat the nozzle but not the bed. So if you've just printed something and you're uploading a second G-code file to it, as soon as the upload is done, which it just finished here, hit cancel print to abort that funky print job, and then just hit start print, and the printer will start printing. And that's it. It's just that easy to use a web browser and your printer on Wi-Fi. The printer can be in another room. It can be across the room, as in my case. And this is a real convenient way to get G-code into your printer and start it printing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not already a subscriber, click to subscribe. Join us on the Facebook channel for discussion about the videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please click to support me on my Patreon page.